Hello, everyone, and welcome to my channel. I'm Reina Creole, and of course, it's a Saturday, which means this is the Resort Recon live stream where I kind of talk to you guys about the theme park news of the week, what I've seen and observed out at the parks, and of course, you guys get to ask me questions with regards to the theme parks, planning, what to see, how to prepare, all kinds of stuff like that. So I like doing this in studio show so you guys can ask me questions, and it's much easier for me to answer in studio than when I'm walking around the parks with the with the gimbal try to avoid people. So I may have some friends, other theme park nerds, drop in during the stream. I'll pop them in as they come along. But before we get started, I want to thank Fire Dragon 57 for becoming a YouTube member. Fire Dragon became a member at the Mediano Mafia level, which is my mid-level membership tier. You guys at the Mediano Mafia level, you guys are going to get an extra watch party as part of your membership. So I've kind of updated the membership offering so you guys can take a look at that when you get a chance. So great to have you at that level, Fire Dragon. Thank you so very much. Let's see now. Hmm. Let's see who we've got here in the chat. Welcome in Snortopoopas, the polar bear from Pinellas County, and one of my amazing mods says, hello, humans and other critters. Well, good to see you. We have got Tom F., who says, hello, all. Well, hello, and good to see you as well, Tom. Hope you're doing well. Another one of my fellow Floridians, along with Snortopoopas. We've got Barry on, who says, hello, Snoot and Snort, and everyone. I haven't had all my coffee yet. Good to see you, Barry on. And let's see, we've got Little Mouse 27, who says, hi again. Well, hi and hello. Hello to you. And the Mum. I like that name, the Mum. By the way, last night till I fell asleep, stream was extremely enjoyable. It reminded me of Six Flags in the late 80s. Oh, well, I'm so glad you enjoyed the stream. Yeah, it kind of did. It gosh, it was such a blast out at Halloween Horror Nights. I'm going to show you guys some footage and give you my review of how things went on opening night. But overall, yes, it was just so much fun with so many people and such great performances and energy and stuff going on. It was just great. It was just great. I had a blast. I have a little bit of a party hangover today because of it, and I'm going back tonight because it's opening weekend and I want to catch all that energy for you guys. So glad you enjoyed it, the Mum. Let's see, we have got Dylan Soup in the chat who says, hey Lorena, sup chat. Well, hey Dylan, how you doing? Good seeing you here. And Angelina Serini, hello, says, hello, Lorena Creole, how are you? I'm doing fine. Glad to see you here too as well, my dear. And Bear 3000 from all the way across the pond, good to see you, says, is it me or does Lorena have the blue filter on? Yes, I do. Everything in my studio, for the most part, is blue light, which is why I got to wear these glasses. Because with my particular undertones, thanks to all the Mediterranean people in my family and Creoles in my family, especially from the Caribbean, I have blue undertones to my skin, which is not the majority of folks who have dark skin. Usually, if you have dark skin to very deep skin, you have gold undertones. I do not. I have blue. So if I put on makeup that's made for gold undertones or you put me under warm lighting, I look like Night of the Living Dead. I kid you not. So those little things you learn about lighting and color. So I already know warm lighting. No, no, I can't do it. I can't do it. And when I go to makeup counters and they're like, oh, we can get you this one. It matches the gold undertones in your skin. I'm like, lady, no, 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 try again. That's how I know I have a great makeup artist when they take the time and they look and they can see what works with your skin tone and what does not. So those are true artists. And usually the best makeup artists I've ever had have all had tattoos. I don't, that's my thing. If I see you, you're a makeup artist and you got tattoos, I know you appreciate art. So we're good. We're good. I'm very particular about who gets to touch the hair or the face. Hey, Northman JH, good to see you. Good to see you. Hope you're doing well. We have got Go and Shogi here as well. Says good morning, everyone. Well, good morning. Good morning. Good to see you as always. And the unofficial Chris Bliss says, I love those glasses. Well, thank you. Thank you. Thank you so very much. I appreciate that, my dear. They're not my start industry glasses. Y'all are going to crack up. But these are my Vault-Tec glasses. Yes. As in Vault-Tec from Fallout. So I got these from Gunner Eyewear. Paid my own money. Okay, just to get that straight. It's not an endorsement of Gunner, but I just got these and they were just released. So yeah, I got like the Pit Boy dust bag and all of that and the little, that's the thing, it says Vault-Tec. So I like those. So I got those and I'm glad you like them. So I ordered them, I think like three months ago. I think still have the Stark ones. I need to have backups because you never know what could happen with your glasses. So I'm very particular about which glasses look right with my face because a lot of them don't. So I love these. And as soon as I saw the ones that Tony Stark wore in Age of Ultron, I was like, I gotta have them. So I got those too. Thank you, Brian Acosta, for that dollar super chat. I appreciate that. Goes into the cold brew fund, and I see it. I see a balloon, and I see 3 there. That is very, very cool. Very cool. Thank you. Thank you. I want StreamYard to do a plugin so whenever you guys send me a super sticker, I can actually see it on this end and I don't have to like switch over to that one. Hey, Starlina says, how's it going, Lorena? Well, it's going good. It's going good. I'm hanging out with you guys and absolutely loving it. Oh, well, thank you. Thank you. For those of you who don't know, makeup is one of my hobbies, especially special effects makeup. I love it. I love it. Coach O'Dragon, and I love your avatar. Let me just say, good morning. Saw some of the stream last night. Just the energy and the atmosphere of Halloween Horror Nights shows how much fun everyone was having, even if, well, couldn't stream in the maze, but it was fun to see the scare zone. Yeah, I'm glad you enjoyed it. I would love to show the houses, but I can't. However, I am going on a tour next week, a lights on tour of the haunted houses, and is going to be some opportunities for me to take pictures and video. So I will be putting together a video of that experience and sharing with you guys. Granted, the lights are going to be on, but you get an inside look because I like to see how the sausage is made. So I can't wait to do that. And yes, the atmosphere was crazy fun. Crazy fun. I've got some clips that I cannot wait to show you guys in a little bit. Let's see. Go and Shogi. I can't spend big on sunglasses. I tend to destroy them unintentionally. Oh, I get you. I get you. I had cheap ones until I found out I have to wear glasses in order to drive because I can see very, very well close up. It occupational hazard. You used to like three screens. You folks in IT know what I'm talking about. Three screens. The print's like text is like this tiny, and you're used to watching it, reading it, and then you have to drive, and your eyes have to adjust and strain. So yeah. So now, all my sunglasses. When you see me wearing sunglasses in my video, it's not to just look cool, but I need them in order to be able to see. Long distances. So that's how that works. Thanks so much, Rob. Thank you. Thank you. Hey, Terry Rose, I see you there, my dear. Says hello, friends. Well, hello, hello, hello. Welcome in, everyone, to the Resort Recon live stream. Seeing ya. Liam McNeil, hello, 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 says Reina Creole, I bet a lot of the problems with fights and poor guest behavior at Disney will be cut down a lot if they stopped serving alcohol. Walt forbade it for a reason. You are not wrong. And we're actually going to talk about that in a bit to kick off the show. We're going to talk about the quote unquote active shooter incident that happened at the Magic Kingdom. I think, was it Thursday night? I think it was Thursday night. Um, but yeah, from the perspective of somebody like me who has had active shooter training, we're going to talk about that because there's so many things that Disney just freaking did wrong, and so many things that some people, some sites, I'm not going to put them on blast, but they know who they are, who perpetuated hearsay and really stirred up a lot of fear and anxiety. Because when you're in the parks, people are usually looking one of two places for information, outside information: Twitter, aka X, or TikTok. Usually those two. Possibly Instagram, Facebook, not so much, but real time, usually it's TikTok or Twitter. Usually Twitter. I can't tell you how many times I've been streaming and I've had people put stuff on Twitter to ask about things. Or if I'm like in line, people talking on Twitter like, where are you? What's happening? Did the ride stop? Can anybody see what's going on? So we're gonna talk about that, and I'm gonna talk about some things to be aware of at the parks to keep your family safe. Not safe in a bad way, but people tend to forget. When I say people, I'm gonna say in general, they tend to forget that when you are on vacation, your situational awareness is not supposed to go out of the window. And unfortunately, that's what a lot of people do. I mean, Disney is a bubble. Don't get me wrong, it is. It is a bubble, but it's also a lot of real life things that that go on at the same time. So again, situational awareness, and as someone who has held a certain security clearance, there's certain threat awareness, threat assessment, and situational awareness that training that I've had, that I continue to have, and what I've used going to Disney repeatedly, even when I had a active security clearance. So we're going to talk about that. Before we talk about the party at Halloween Horror Nights, oh my God, oh my God. Okay. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Yeah, I like bringing everybody with me. Thank you, Space Dave, for becoming a member. I sure do appreciate that. Thank you so, 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 so very much, my dear. Love having you guys as channel members. You guys are awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. All right, let's see. Oh, no worries, dude. You do when you do. There's Brian. I saw your super chat or your super sticker earlier. So thank you and good to see you. Says hello, everyone. Space Day 2000 says, do you think they'll move Halloween Horror Nights over to Dark Universe? No, No, I really don't think that. I really don't think that they will. They're two separate audiences. Halloween Horror Nights is like like your haunted house on steroids. It is, I would say, a teen and up type of event. Very visceral, very graphic horror in places. Dark Universe is more of that gothic PG-13 type of horror. I think it's a different audience. So I don't think that they're going to move that. They're going to move that over there. The studios portion of the park has the sound stages, and that's where you need that for a lot of the haunted houses. There's tents for certain haunted houses, but there's also the sound stages as well. So that infrastructure is in place over there. I really don't see it going over to Dark Universe, but that's not necessarily a bad thing. Because think about it, Disney has Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party. That's a different audience, more family friendly. Lots of people go there. They pay the money to do that. Universal, if they do a certain event like that at Dark Universe, that actually brings in more money. So I could see them. I could see them doing that. Let's see. Disneyland has a hard time keeping the weed vapes out. Oh Lord, let me tell you what happened. Well, I'm going to talk about that when actually I'm going to star your comment so I don't forget that. We're going to talk about that when it comes to Halloween Horror Nights because I had an experience that I have to share. That I have to share with you guys. Oh, this is definitely a discussion that must be had. Oh, absolutely, absolutely. Let's see, Tom F. I know about the training. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Tom knows what I'm talking about. It's the training that they give you, and I've had to apply that ever since. LOL, Lorena getting all girly enthusiastic. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. I get enthusiastic about things I don't like. I'm gonna tear that down. I think the Dark Universe, those characters would be considered something as childhood memory scary, but not horror as HHN. I think yes, and you're absolutely right. You're 100% right. It's like Frankenstein, Dracula, you know, Wolfman, Mummy, those kind of like childhood scary characters. Like you always see the cartoon versions of those characters. Like for example, one of my favorite Cartoon Network shows I used to watch. I know, don't judge me. The Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy, and it turns out one of their friends, their dad's a vampire or something like that. And so kids are used to seeing that type of thing. Barry on says, I have to take active shooter training annually, even though I work from home. Do they know something about my wife that I don't? Well, that's interesting. I remember when I had to take that as a Zumba instructor because I worked at a YMCA and I had to take active shooter training, and people all around me were like, "What if? What do we do? What do we?" I said, "Trust me, I've been through this before. It's okay." And literally had to tell my Zumba class, I said, "Look, if there's an emergency situation, all right, I have had active shooter training." And I said, and since I have a concealed carry permit, I just may have a firearm on me. And he just kind of looked. I said, well, they say I'm not supposed to bring one in. I'm just putting that out there. Okay, cool. So I'll have to check it out. Dylan Soup says, I love Billy and Mandy. Some of the earlier episodes were just dark. That's the kind of kids level of like Halloween cartoonish type of stuff that's going on. It's perfect. I freaking love the grim adventures of Billy and Mandy. Yeah, I love that one. That one's fun. Okay, well, 17 you folks in here. Let's get to our first topic that we have. And of course, we are going to talk about the active, quote unquote, active shooter incident that happened at the Magic Kingdom over in Walt Disney World. Now, I say active in quotes because there was no active shooter. There was no active shooter. And you had some accounts on X that were saying, oh, there's an active shooter situation. No, there was not. So, what exactly happened? And this is what we have here from Fox 35 Orlando. No active shooter at Disney's Magic Kingdom. Sheriff says fight followed by popping noise led to panic. Now, let's see, this is over at the
a panic-filled theme park after false reports of an active shooter. Take a look at this video. This shows people running for the exits. This is Magic Kingdom last night. Deputies say a fight broke out and then people heard popping noises. Fox 35's Matt Trezza explains what sent those folks running.
Well, what happened was, again, there was a fight, supposedly. There was a fight. I'll talk about that in a bit. Balloons were popping. Now, balloons popping at a theme park is not out of the ordinary. Okay. Kids do stuff. Balloon hits something, pops. Sometimes it's weather that'll make it pop. Everybody knows that. The kid, balloons pops, they start crying. Okay. The balloon popping was not the problem. The problem was you had someone do the equivalent of yell fire in a crowded theater. That is what happened. So after this fight was going on and they heard this popping noise, somebody started yelling that there was a shooter. And when you have a bunch of people in large groups, panic can spread very, very quickly. So no one thought, common sense. Okay, you've got to go through security before you get to the Magic Kingdom. All right. And by secure, I mean, before you even set foot at the Magic Kingdom, I can't even get my, let's see, where is it? Where is it? Okay. Let me blow this up because here's an example. Okay. This is one of my makeup compacts and highlighter I should not have bought, but I did. This thing has metal in it and a magnet in it. And 9 times out of 10, it will set off the darn detector. And then they have to go and check everything. They're like, oh, you can just take this out, take this out, take this out. I said, dude, I'd have to have everything outside my purse. It just makes no freaking sense to me. So you can pick one of these up. If they can pick this up, they can pick a firearm up. Okay. So they can do that. So that's no excuse. So people forgot that there was a security checkpoint. Okay. Forgot all about that. But again, the problem is you had someone say that and word spreads because that's how it is. And they're just like, there's a shooter, there's a shooter, there's a shooter. And that's when all the craziness happened. And I can't see how you can think that a gun, this must be people who are not have never been around firearms, sounds like a balloon popping. That is totally, totally a different sound profile. But like I said, someone did the equivalent of yell fire in a crowded theater.
Orange County deputies say both the fight and the sound of the popping balloons led to panic at the theme park last night. Scared, confused guests waited nervously as Disney security searched the area near the monorail. This, one of the many places at the Magic Kingdom where people went after reports of a shooting in the park.
I'm like, why? At the monorail line. Doesn't make any freaking sense.
said news about something dangerous happening spread quickly.
My family was
News about something dangerous happening, spreading quickly. That's what it was. That was the news. Okay. Back in the day when you didn't have social media, this probably wouldn't have friggin' happened. Okay. But because you have social media and people start looking to see what happens, this is how disinformation passes on.
was in one of the stores, and then all of a sudden, people came rushing into the store. One of my daughters was separated from us, and I was trying to hold back, but people were running in.
They said people were running everywhere.
The security people were telling us to get down. And finally, my daughter, I was able to locate her. So my entire family, which was my wife, my two daughters, and two grandchildren, we were huddled together while we were waiting to find out exactly what was going on.
Okay, so he's talking about how people scattered into the stores and they're telling people to take cover. I'm like, so you're telling people to do this and there's no confirmation of anything that's going on. And it, just to kind of give you guys an idea, and let me switch over here, give you guys an idea. So this is video that I took. So I'm leaving the Magic Kingdom. When you leave the Magic Kingdom, you have to go out this way. Okay, now this is the bunch of people. This is during the Halloween party. Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween party, but I have been here where there's been throngs of people on Main Street. And if you've seen my live streams, very rarely do I walk down Main Street with all these people because it's too crowded. And I've been in situations at the Magic Kingdom where there's too many people and there's a crowd and people can stampede and whatnot. So I usually go, you've seen me, I will go through Casey's hot dogs and I will go through the shops instead, so that when I exit the shops, when you exit the Emporium right there near where the fire station is, straight shot to get out of the park. And you don't have to go through these throngs of mass humanity that are trying to figure out where the heck they can go. But you can see how crowded it is. And it can get to be a stampede situation very quickly if someone says the wrong thing. Now, Epcot, I want to say probably Hollywood Studios is like this. Hollywood Studios is like this too. The same kind of one way out. Epcot, there's more exits to get out, and you get past the big ball. Animal Kingdom, I think they have two separate exits where you can get out. There's backstage exits as well that you can't see here. Like usually they'll open up some area over by Casey's and they'll guard you out. Or there's one that's right behind Tony's, I think, Tony's Town Square Restaurant, that'll let you out that way as well. They don't show that. But the fact that people went running into the stores and the type of panic that got spread is just absolutely ridiculous. Let's see. Let's keep going, and I'll get to chats in a minute.
Got reports of a shooting, people fighting, and people running from something. In the end, they say.
So deputies got reports of shooting. Deputies got reports of the shooting. Now, usually OSO, Orange County Sheriff's Department, they will usually have the cruisers and the canines out there in front of Magic Kingdom, and the cruisers around the back. So it looks like Disney has to call them to come in, as opposed to Universal, which already has OPD on site and in the parks.
There was a fight near the monorail station, and while that was happening, several balloons popped, leading to panic about a shooting. They say there was no evidence of any gun, shooting, or people injured.
Okay, so let's talk about a fight on the monorail. 35 of you guys here. I see you. We are definitely going to get to all your chats. And thank you, Ruby Who, for gifting that one Reina Creole membership. Thank you so very much, my dear. I appreciate that. Appreciate it so much. Make sure you thank Ruby Who if you got that gifted membership. So yeah, a fight started in a line at the monorail. I bet you this was for the express monorail. People are aside of how hot people are, and this did not used to happen back in the day, okay? But then again, that was when Disney didn't treat their guests like, you know, piggy banks and exploit them and not give you value for your money. So usually when you would leave on an express monorail, that was like one of the last relaxing moments that you would have with recalling your memories of being at the park. You get on the monorail and then you get on, then you get on the tram. But apparently now you got people fighting. And with that express monorail, well, there's a couple reasons for that. One, you've got some cast members, not all of them, but for some reason, a good amount of them guiding people out of the parks are yelling at you like they're drill instructors. I don't know who trained them, but that is not how you deal with people. Okay. You're really not. It's not a very respectful tone that most of them are giving. They're mostly yelling at you. And it is not a good, relaxing thing at all. I remember when cast members would have like the Mickey hands and they would wave to you, as you left and stuff like that. No, 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 no. It's basically, we got your money, get the F out our park. That is the atmosphere. So I'm guessing tired kids, hot people, broke, tired of being screwed over, and somebody stepped on somebody and either didn't apologize or they did and somebody wasn't gracious enough to accept the apology. It's lots of people. I mean, you bump into people. It's what happens. And they're constantly packing all of these people. And it's not just a short line to get to that express monorail. I never take it that late at night. I take the resort monorail, which most people don't know about. It takes longer to get you there because it stops at the resorts, but it's a lot excuse me, it's a lot less crowded and trust me, more relaxing. Hey, Ron says, hey, Lorena in chat. Sorry I can't be in today. Just not feeling my best. Trying to rest and recover. Well, no worries, my dear. No worries, my dear. Rest up, recover. I'm glad you popped into the chat, my dear, because you can, as a cast member, you can offer me some real good information when it comes to this. We're talking about this popping incident that happened there. So apparently, fight broke out, balloons started popping, and somebody starts yelling, somebody's got a gun. That's all it takes. All it takes. That little bit of disinformation. This is not the first time that a balloon has popped at Disney. So it's like, what the heck is going on? But people in large groups, disinformation travels. So apparently, after that fight at the monorail station, which I can totally understand to see that happen, and I don't excuse it at all, I can see why. Then instead of just finding out exactly what was going on, or just letting guests know, okay, we're going to let people disperse a bit better, opening up ways to let people out. With all of that security, with all of the plainclothes security, because I've seen them too, they look just like regular folks there at the park. Between them, you mean to tell me you think somebody had a gun? Really? And the thing is, I see Disney security walking around. I don't see the Orange County Sheriff's Department deputies walking around Just saying. It seems like at Disney, they have the Orange County sheriffs out until they call them in. At Universal, I have seen OPD walking around inside the parks. Just saying.
Security consultant Dave Benson spent 8 years working at Disney. He says it's always important for groups to know how to find each other during an emergency situation. But when lives could be at risk, he says the most important thing is to get away from the danger.
Maybe it is the main gate. But if I were telling people, I'd say, if you think that situation's happening, go down Main Street, get out, stay out, and keep going until you're far enough away to be away from the threat.
Theme park experts say security is one of Disney's top priorities.
It seems like Disney was quick to have their cast members get everyone to safety and do the exact protocols they are trained for. I know that.
I don't know. Me looking at that, it looks like a lot of panic. That was unnecessary. So I don't know. Either way, this just looks like all kinds of fail to me, stirring up chaos instead of just, we're opening up additional space so you guys can get out and you can exit, trying to not stir up freaking panic. Or here's my favorite. We're shutting down the monorail right now, so we'd like to send you guys over to the ferry boat instead. See? That's different. And I think a lot of this goes to the point of you have too many cast members that are not experienced, in all of my years of going to Walt Disney, even since I was a kid, I've never seen anything like this.
Between Disney security and everyday Disney cast members, that there are procedures for emergencies just like this. And while thankfully no emergency actually happened, it does seem like they were instantly set into action.
Theme park experts say Disney has 5 so-called keys underpinning its methods. They are courtesy, show, efficiency, and inclusion. But they say first and foremost, the number one is safety. At Walt Disney World, Matt Trezza, Fox 35 News.
I don't know. I totally back up on that because I can't tell you how many times I've been on those bridges coming from either Liberty Square into Main Street or the bridge to Tomorrowland with people trying to get out and you're just like stuffed and crammed full of people. I think it is the illusion of safety. That's what I would call it. The illusion of safety. A lot of people think that, because there aren't, knives or guns or anything like that being brought into the park, that there is not a threat. When you have this many people and not that many exits, that's a problem. So when you're at the parks with your families, I know because when I went and I took my nieces and nephews, I said, we're going to Walt Disney World. However, we need to have this discussion about where to meet up if we get separated. If you get separated from me, which will happen because when I was a kid, I got lost on Main Street. I didn't know I was lost. I was just looking at stuff. What happens if you get lost? And one of my nephews did get lost and pissed me off when he got lost. What to do if somebody touches you inappropriately? More importantly, how to keep all of us together. And should anything happen, to listen to me. So when you're out, be aware of large crowds of people, and you need to make sure that you have a way to get out from around that large crowd of people. Case in point, and I think I talked about this. When I was at Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween party, okay, this lady in an ECB decided she would go down in the mosh pit to see the stage show. Nothing wrong with that. There are plenty of people who were in ECVs to watch the stage show, but they were off to the side so they could all get out easily. Well, one, I fault Disney for that, really, because if you have people in ECVs, you need to have them in a space where they can get out. She couldn't even get out. And you guys saw this on the stream that I did. I'm basically doing crowd control, trying to pass the word down to other people further down if they could make room for this lady to get out. So when you're there with your family, be situationally aware. Not to the point where it's like all you do is you're hyper vigilant about what's going on, but take a look at what's going on. You know, you see some people that look like they're having a little domestic dispute. Maybe you should go the other way. You know, if there's throngs of people around, you may not want to swarm with those throngs of people. You know, you want to be on the outside fringes, not right deep thick in the middle of all of those people. You really do have to be aware of what's going on, and it's a shame because it shatters this situation like this, totally unnecessary with how this word got out and how it was spread. And yes, spread by some very prominent theme park sites as well on Twitter about unsubstantiated information. Something else. Ram Bam 3000 for 5 pounds of the Queen's. No. It's not the Queen anymore. King's money. King's money, proper money. The IQ of a mob is the IQ of its stupidest member divided by the number of people in the mob. Terry Pratchett Masquerade. That lines up with I forget who said it, but never underestimate the power of stupid people in large groups. And I don't mean stupid into mean dumb. It's like you get lulled into this, I want to say your mind gets into like this state where it's just like, I just follow what's going on. Pixie dust is a hell of a drug. It's powerful and it'll lull you into a false sense of security. But you also have to remember that there are pickpockets and grifters and, people who like to, target children. This is a target rich environment for those kinds of folks, especially when I see Europeans pulling out wads of cash. I'm like, don't do that. Don't do that here. Don't do that here. Thank you, Rambear 3000, for that 5 pounds of the king's money. Thank you so very much, and that is so very right. Elijah Snow for $4.99. Thank you so much for that $4.99 super chat, my dear. I appreciate it. If you really wanted to get a gun in there, you probably could. I'm law enforcement. It can be done. What baffled me is the security response or lack thereof. Yeah, see, this is the part where, how would I say it? It's a good thing I didn't go into organized crime. Let's put it to you like that. Yeah, if you really wanted to, you probably could. Not going to say how, but yes, you can. That's very possible that you could do it. But what baffled me was the security response or lack thereof. That's what got me. And that is one of the things that I do not like about what's going on at Walt Disney World when it comes to security. You guys remember the throwdown in Toontown, right? Okay. How long did it take law enforcement? How long did it take Disney security to show up? And then how long did it take law enforcement to show up? It's like, I don't know if it's because the cast members who had that depth of security experience are no longer there, or there are very little of them there. I'm not used to Disney security being that slow in their response. It's like you have to realize that this is not 2000. You need to have a threat response that's current. You can't just let it sit out there. Just no, not with the way people are getting their information today. Absolutely not. And Disney just seemed to be ignorant of how that of how that panic can spread when it's unsubstantiated. Let's see. I'm going to go through a couple more comments, and then I'm going to switch on over to Halloween Horror Nights. So thankful for all of you guys hanging out in here. I appreciate that so very much. Faithful Patriot says, "You're the greatest. Love your videos." Oh, thank you, my dear. Thank you. I'm so glad you enjoy my videos. And thank you so much for supporting my channel. I mean, I can't do what I do without y'all, really. Really, I can't. So thank you. Thank you. Let's see. Let me go up here. Go up here to the top. Let's see. Nobody likes a guy who shows up to the range with the 50. I swear your bones had ears. Man, I didn't like it when I had to shoot a 45. That's only because of the kickback. For me, it was too much in the beginning. It was one of those where, okay, it's like I need to learn how to try to shoot that without get used to the kickback on that, because I have a 9 millimeter and a 40. So I was like, we'll start there. So I kind of cross train on 9 millimeter and a 40, work my way up to a 45, and one day I shall go shoot a AR-15. I really want to, though. I haven't had a chance. Been kind of busy. Mamasaurus Rex says the problem is that there is no protocol or training for this situation, because it's pretty much impossible for it to happen because of the security you go through as a guest or a cast member. I get it. I get it. As an engineer, because we are weird and we think differently, we look at this, and I know there's a lot of law enforcement people do too. It's like, okay, what's the worst case crazy ass scenario that could happen? And not to make people scared or afraid, but to know what to do in case this weird ass scenario does happen, you know? So it just amazes me that wasn't done. Like the scenario of, what if someone does something like this, yells gun, or yells at somebody shooting or whatever in this environment? What do you do? What do people down the line do? I mean, it's sad to think about, but it is out there, just proven here. I've gone to the range with the 12 gauge. Now I feel bad. Oh, Barry on, don't feel bad. Are you the guy with the gun where people are like, who's shooting what down there? And can I try? Rambam 3000 says $100 says the fight started first, then people heard balloons popping. Yes. It doesn't take much to get a balloon to pop. A sharp piece of plastic on a toy might have popped the balloon. But yeah, I believe that fight started first. I mean, I've seen that happen. People get mad, pissed off because the cast member says, and they bark it too. They do not request. They don't say, like, ladies and gentlemen, can you please move down so we can make room for everybody, so we can get as many people on the monorail and as many of you out and back to your cars as possible. No, it's like, move all the way down, friends, all the way down, fill in all the available space. And me, just to be honorary, I'll say the pandemic is over, folks. You can actually get closer. But that's how they talk to people. And I get it. You get tired of guests acting like they owe you something. But here's the deal. You have a job to do. That's it. You have a job to do. And your job is not to yell at people like they owe you money, regardless of what you think. As a kid, one of the best jobs that taught me a lot of real world experience You try working as a cashier in a mall. I've seen some crazy ass stuff. And there's some people I just wanted to, jump across the counter and just throat punch, but I couldn't, you know. So I had to, in a way, tell them that they could basically go to hell so much in a way that they would look forward to the trip in certain cases. Of all the rides to fight to get on the monorail, I've seen a fight on the ferry boat. I've seen that, but I think that was some other dispute that got carried over. But yes, the monorail, in line for the monorail, I believe it. I've seen the situations where that can happen. That's why I will not get on the express monorail late at night. But it's tough because everybody's trying to get out, and then they have you walk through this maze of cords, and then the cast members have, like the lights you use to land the planes and stuff like that. They'll have that out, and then they're barking at people. That's the other thing. They're barking at people about where they have to go. And after you've been there all day and been fleeced of your money, do you really want some snot-nosed college student yelling at you? I don't think so. I don't think so. Balloons popping doesn't sound like a pew pew. Yes, Tina, that's what I'm saying. It does not sound like that. Not at all. But somebody decided to do that, and with a lot of I would say misinformation that is out there regarding firearms. That's why I think everybody should take a firearms course. I know Tom F is a firearms instructor. Everyone should, because there's a lot of misconceptions and misinformation out in the media about firearms. But like I said, I'm just like, no, all the balloons that pop hadn't caused a stampede. But how much do you want? Do you want to guess? Okay, this is me putting my tinfoil ears and my well, I could have, well, let's put it this way. So glad I didn't go into any kind of like illegal drug activity. Okay, so what's the best distraction away from attention being put on you fighting somebody? Pop a balloon and yell active shooter. It's called a diversion. Seriously. I'm not evil. I'm just drawing it. But honestly, what would take the attention off that fast when they're trying to figure out who's fighting, who do we have to call? If you're a cast member with no training on this, you're trying to figure, is this something that's going to work itself out, or do I have to call Disney security right away, or whatever? And people probably thinking, shoot, I'm not trying to go to jail or deal with law enforcement, especially when I'm from out of state. So guess what? I'm not saying that's what happened, but me thinking that's what I would think could possibly happen. Did I remind you guys that at one time I thought I wanted to be a homicide detective? Yeah, criminal mind fascinates me. That's certainly not how you deal with civilians. Yes, absolutely. And don't forget potentially drunk Lorena Creole. That's the other thing. The proliferation of alcohol in the Magic Kingdom. It is everywhere now. Even if you go to Aloha Isle, which is one of my favorite places to go, get my Dole Whip. If I'm not at the Polynesian, you can get alcohol added to your Dole Whip. Everywhere, you can get alcohol added, and it is just everywhere. I remember when you had to go to Epcot to drink, which is why, drink around the world. That's why that got popular. But drinking around the world back then at Epcot meant you took your time with certain things. You didn't drink to get drunk. You drank to try everything in every country. And then, yeah, by the end, you're probably stumbling out. But it was not to get drunk and belligerent to the point where you're taking bets for $6,000 that you'll jump into that, that little makeshift uh, waterway in Italy or dumb stuff like this. Now it's like an all day kegger over there at Epcot. Disney dissing customers and cast members. Yeah, both too. Some cast members are just like, I don't get paid enough for this crap. And they vent someplace else. Not to say that it's all of them, because it's not. I can tell the difference between the cast members who know what they're doing and have been there for a while, and the ones who are just like, this is just a freaking paycheck and to hell what you guess. That's not a good thing. Disneyland and Disney World are probably some of the safest places. Yes, overall, they are safe. But just like anywhere, you just have to be situationally aware. And I know some people don't like to think about it, but crime happens on vacation. It really does. And not only, crime, but there's civil things that happen. So majority of it is safe, but you just have to be aware of what's going on around you, and always have a plan in case you and your party get separated. Have that discussion. Okay. Let's see. Those dingleberries have watched, I said dingleberry. Dingleberries have watched too many cop movies and think that's how you're supposed to deal with crowds. Whew. Disney is not reality. I would love to see these people go someplace else and do something like that. It's like, no. And you know what, Tom F, WWD, WDW Pro, of course, Pro did a video with Jonas where he actually talked about why didn't they use the PA system. Really good video. So go and watch that. Mm-hmm. Coach of Dragon says, I've been bumped by some guests, but not a hard bump, like a tap bump, but still like some guests feel they have to be a rush for some reason, even if they're AP holders. Yeah, it's like, we got to do everything. We got to do everything. It's like, no, that's a failure to plan on your part. I had one lady almost try to run over a camera girl so she could get her stroller and her little brat into the park. And she's like, oh, I said, excuse me. I'm like, no, that doesn't excuse you from running your, stroller on somebody's heels because you're in a rush to get to the Magic Kingdom. It's going to be there. Everything's going to be there. Again, a lot of it is because of planning. Some people didn't plan and now they're spending all this money and freaking out and think that they have to do everything. It's ridiculous. You've got to start breathalyzing the parts. That would be some interesting data, let me tell you. Yeah, OCSD was there. Yeah. They're usually out on the outskirts, like at Epcot. You do not see Orange County Sheriff's deputies, or I think the Osceola ones are down in Animal Kingdom. You don't see them inside the parks unless some crap went down, and then they call them, and then they come into the parks. As opposed to Universal, where you will see, you'll see bike cops from OPD, Orlando Police Department. You'll see, uniformed police that are walking around. There's some who are, who are plain clothes that you wouldn't see. Universal Hollywood, the sheriffs have a full office on City Walk. Yeah, for here, it's Orlando Police Department, since Universal Orlando is in the city of Orlando. So OPD has their offices. They have an office there. And of course, they're all over the place. I mean, it's very obvious that they're there. Hey, Kataba RF, good to see you. Hope I said that right. I'm glad to have you here. So yeah, that's the deal. with what's going on. And you're right, never be in the middle of a surge. And you know what, Northman JH, I read a I read a book by the guy who founded Blackwater, and I think they did. Don't quote me. I think they offered Disney their help, and I think Disney turned them down. I don't quote me, but for some reason, that sounds familiar. I read one of Eric Prince's books, but I think they did. And you're absolutely right. It's like security has to be able to take into account, you know, old school threats and new school threats. And I don't know who is handling their threat analysis department or whatever, but they need to get on it because this is horrible, horribly bad look. It's ridiculous. I just hope I'm near a popcorn cart for example. Popcorn cart will definitely offer some protection. Absolutely. Absolutely. Yes, do not leave don't leave your observational skills at home. Absolutely. And yes, they will. People with their kids are more likely to panic because you have children to protect. So I totally understand that instinct, and in a crowd that makes it even harder. Reina Creole, it's mostly that they just didn't communicate. Yeah, that communication didn't happen. As soon as they saw or got word of a fight that was happening at the monorail, somebody should have got on the horn and communicated that down and said, we got a situation here. We need you to do X, Y, and Z to get the guests out. Because why should it be that the guests with the crap that's going on at the monorail station, how's that supposed that shouldn't even affect what's going on Main Street? I mean, come on. It's ridiculous. Lorena, secret criminal mastermind. You do know that whatever. It's an hour into the show. Um, there is a common thread between engineers and terrorists. We don't think like everyone else. Case in point, I was at LAX, make your own jokes, and they're like, oh, we have to test your hands. Well, this had happened like a couple people up. And I noticed that they were checking every third person. Now, if I was truly a criminal mastermind, I would have switched places. But they come down and they're like, testing my hands, everything. I'm like, why are you doing this? Oh, we're looking for gunshot residue. I'm like, okay, so why don't you just check everybody's hands? Why are you checking every three? And they just looked. I said, I'm asking you. I'm looking for an answer. And then again, I was kind of indignant because I did have a security clearance. So I questioned everything. I'm like, you do not want me to call a certain person, okay? You don't want me to do that. Never assume stuff won't happen. This is hubris. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, maybe this is just me and maybe I'm old, but anytime I would go somewhere, my mom would have that discussion with us. We're here to have fun. However, if stuff goes south, this is what you need to do. And to me, as the oldest kid, I'm just like, I'm looking, I'm like, what if this happens? What if this happens? What if this happens? I was in a darn Panera Bread, okay? And I remember 2 cops came in, and it's not like they were just dropping in for a cup of coffee. Okay, they were casing the joint. And I'm looking, I'm like, okay, if I need to get out of here real fast or protect myself, how heavy is this table? Can I move this table? That's where my brain goes. Hey, the mom says decency and respect has been lost in our country. Yeah, that's a shame. I mean, it's intact in some places, but they're in little pockets, not widespread as they used to be. So thank you, the mom, for that $1.99 super chat. And yeah, it's uh it's sad. It's sad. Commander Sid says a European's American vacation. I can spot them. Oh my gosh, I can spot them. They've got all of, the Louis Vuitton swag, everything. I'm just like, dude, just broadcast how much money you got. I mostly see Europeans doing that. I don't see Australians doing that. I really don't. Hey, Zachariah 315. Good to see you. Good to see all you people here. And of course, like I said, be situationally be situationally aware. Okay. That is that's what you want to do. You're going to spend time on this vacation. Have a good time. But don't forget your common sense. Okay? You really need to do that. Really need to do that. Okay. Hey, Demonjanai. How you doing? Says hello, beautiful. Well, thank you so much, Lord Commander of the Dark Council. Thank you so much for that $2 super chat, my dear. Mwah. Much love, much love. Folks, you got to check out Demonjanai's channel, Spellbroken Live, which is on Sundays, and Spellbroken Gaming, which should be tonight, I believe. Definitely check that out. Good seeing you, my dear. I ran into Jay yesterday. You know that, right? It's Florentine says, hey, Lorena, yesterday I was trying to get on the monorail. The door closed in front of me. They don't play. Please stand clear of the doors every time. Yes. Yes, they do. Please stand clear of the doors. Yeah, they're not kidding when they're trying to get people out there. I almost feel like hearing Mind the Gap over and over and over again. Those of you in the UK know what I'm talking about, right? When you go in the underground and it's just like, man, all you keep hearing is Mind the Gap, Mind the Gap. What the heck's going on with that? But anyway. So one more thing before we get to Halloween Horror Nights. So this information got dropped. Needless to say, I will be acquiring this. And of course, this is the not scary Teddy. This is Vampire Teddy. Okay, y'all didn't watch the movie, obviously. Okay, but either way, this popcorn bucket is coming to the Magic Kingdom starting September 2nd for Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party. Disney says it's coming later to Disneyland Resort. Last year they had the mayor's car. I still have it. Yeah. So this is the mayor's car. They had this last year. They dropped this one with like no notice. And I think it was on Halloween night that they dropped it. And I should have gotten two, but I got one at the time. So yeah, I got this. So I'm getting that other one too. Oh gosh, the lines are going to be long. I'm glad they did this because the one that they released in the first party was really boring. It was like Mickey and a pumpkin, and yet people were lined up like crazy to get that. I was just like, why? I'm very particular with my money. That was not worth getting. This one, I need it. I need it so badly. Okay, folks. So let's move on. 40 of you folks in here, thank you guys so much for being here. We're talking Halloween Horror Nights, and I'll just run this video a little bit. So this is the first scare zone. That's the medieval torture fair. But apparently, if you're up on the curb, it is the coolest perspective to have. So Halloween Horror Nights, of course, is the hard ticketed event at Universal Orlando. It goes on for, I think it's 40 nights. Last night was the opening night to the public. The night previous, they had a special event where you paid like $300. It included food. Yeah, that's a crazy looking monk right there. It included food, and the wait times to get in the houses were like 5 minutes. It was too expensive for my blood. This year, I may do it next year, but I wanted to check the houses out this year. So I have the rush of fear. So there's 5 scare zones. Come on, okay, okay. You guys are making money with my video. I get you. I get you. I get that cut. What's that mean? Okay, yeah. Go back. 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 Okay. So let's go through Hollywood. Hollyweird. So this is the Demon Queens scare zone. There's 5 scare zones. There's the one in the front where you enter park. And then there's 4 additional scare zones. So this one is the Demon Queens. Now this is during the day. I'm going to show you the one at night as well. Yeah, and I ran to Jay and the park park hopping crew while I was there too. So it was kind of funny having the streams cross there. So I met, him and Krista. So it was good to see them. I think this is the first time I've run into them at a park. So they were there, and this was during the day over the Demon Queen section. So this is during the day there. Really cool. You can see the scare actors, they get into it. They love interacting with people. Jayhan, this is really cool. It's just like crazy street theater, the costumes, the makeup, the people screaming, the ambient scream. There's the old lady right there. She spooked me out because she'll just jump out from behind the float there. Yeah, these are all the demon queens who are loyal to Surreal. So Surreal is like the cerebral horror queen. And then you have Sinister, who's the more visceral queen. So this is the Zombie Bayou. I love this. These people, they walk around. For me, this is the scariest scare zone to walk into because it's confined. There's trees. There's all kinds of places for people to hide out at and jump out at you. And it's fun. It's some of the scare actors will actually follow you. So I'll have the camera, and sometimes they'll think that they're in the front or in the back. So they have to go look and see where they are. They'll come around me. If you're easily scared, yes, they will spook you. These have like the Cajun meatballs and stuff with different gumbo ingredients and everything to try to show you. But if you look, just like the makeup and everything, it's crazy. See, just like that, they'll better bomb me. And as you walk through here, but this was a fun event. It is a very, very crowded event. Although I will say, since they had that preview night the night before, the crowds weren't as bad. But I shouldn't say bad like in a bad way. There were still a lot of people, and the later the night goes on, of course, the more people that that show up. There's how would I put this? There's a lot of alcohol at this event. Some people like to sneak weed in there to smoke it, which brings me to my next story. So What did I get? So I got the Korean, talking about food, I got the Korean corn dog, and I didn't really think too much of it. I got the Korean corn dog. I got like the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man on a s'more, and they like heat them up. So that was actually good, although that was a major sugar rush. And then I had like a non alcoholic drink that had a whole dollop of marshmallow in it. That corn dog was so good. Ooh, is this where I went to see the Death Eaters? Okay, yeah, here we go. Diagon Alley, going to see Death Eaters. Okay, that corn dog was so good. I didn't even pay attention that I was over in the smoking area. I didn't even care because that corn dog was so good and so crunchy. I don't like corn dogs in general, but this one was so good. I was just like, smoke, don't freaking care. Why? Because this corn dog is so good. So that was good. The Stay Puft Marshmallow Man, that one you definitely have to have. I think it was like $7. I got 20% off as a annual pass holder. That was good. Everything that I had at the Ghostbusters station was actually pretty good, and I enjoyed that. Food at Halloween Horror Nights really isn't. It's just not. It's not the highlight for the most part. I mean, there's some kitschy things in there, but mostly people trying to go to the haunted houses and drink. That's pretty much it. But here are the Death Eaters, and they are over in Diagon Alley. So it is a rotating show. It's amazing because they play like all the themes, the John Williams music from the Harry Potter movies with all like Death Eater scenes and all those battle scenes. It is so cool. So they'll come out there and then they'll go amongst the crowds. They will even go into the stores like Sugar Plums. They'll go in there looking for people to recruit for the Dark Lord. Although, if you are Slytherin, it's pretty much a given. They know they don't have to work to catch you. Hey, Sunset Harbor Entertainment. Good to see you. Good to see you. The swamp, not that building. Yes, the swamp, not the true swamp, not the stadium, not the football stadium in Gainesville. Commander Sid says HHN always seems like so much fun. Probably won't be able to go for a long while because of medical stuff, but I can't wait to go. Sucks having cords stick out of you. Well, keep your head up, my dear. Keep your head up, my dear. One day, you will get to go and you will love it. You'll absolutely love it. And the Death Eaters will pretend to duel the children. Yes, I am very glad that you brought that up. Because I happened to catch this. Now, I don't know if this was a fluke, but they actually had the Death Eaters out about 45 minutes before the park closed. So Halloween Horror Nights hadn't even officially started yet. And they had the Death Eaters out. So I thought this was pretty cool. So at least, the kids would be able to have some fun. And I hadn't seen this before, like during the day. So this is so cool. I mean, granted, I think one of them is Gryffindor, but I forget I saw that. Hey, Stig says, hi there, Lorena. How are you today, honey muffin? Well, I am doing great. I'm doing great. Glad to see you, my dear. Glad to see you. See, I remember to think Disney could have done this despite the whole youngling thing. Yeah, and you know what? It probably would not be a how much do you want to bet? The show with the younglings that they used to have, at Hollywood Studios, and then Darth Vader would show up and they tell the younglings to remember their training as they do with Darth Vader. How much do you think the people who worked on that show worked on this thing with the Death Eaters? Because the way that they execute this, and they'll go up to, up to the kids and, and challenge them, and they'll go out seeking people, and it's just something else. I remind myself Gryffindor are good for something. I'll have to figure out what someday. Yeah, you and me both. Well, you know how you have to have how every superhero has an arch enemy. I think that's how it is with Gryffindor and Slytherin. So the guy walking by who's got that light up there, that is a private tour, an RIP tour. So yes, literally RIP tour. So it's these small tour groups. Of course, you pay for premium. You get in the express lane to get into the houses, and they take you around to each house. And it's pretty cool watching these folks walk around because they have like medical scrubs on and everything. But this is me trying to get into the Stay and Scream area. So if you, and that's the Ghostbusters food area right there. So the first one, that's where you get the corn dogs, where Slimer is. And then the desserts you get over here at Ivan's Deli and Grocery. But this is the Stay and Scream area. So I have a annual pass. So since I have an annual pass, the park closes at 5. Long as I get into the park before it closes at 5, I'm good. You also need to get there before the park closes so you don't have to pay parking if you have an annual pass holder. If you're an annual pass holder, you still got to pay for parking during Halloween Horror Nights. So that's why I try to get in early. So all of these people are waiting to get into the haunted houses. Now, this is about a little bit after 5 in the afternoon. The park closes at 5. So if you have to Stay and Scream or you're an annual pass holder, you get in anytime. Stay and Scream, I think you pay $50 and you can get in at 3 o'clock. You want to do that. Here's the reason why, especially if you're broke or money is tight. The event opens to the public, I believe, at 7. They were opening the haunted houses at 5:15. So people got to get into like the Insidious house, the Ghostbusters houses, all of that. They were opening up at 5:15. So if you're here this early, granted it's during the day, it's not as cool as rolling up on a Halloween party at night. You got to go in. So it's a great way to knock out all those haunted houses that are popular and you don't have the express pass. I will say you do want the express pass for this. Oh, here's my food. Here's a corn dog. The Korean corn dog is so good. Oh my gosh. I did not think I was going to like this. I saw Jay had it. I'm like, I don't know if I want to try it, but okay, I'll go ahead and try. So that's what I got. So we got the corn dog. There's a Stay Puft Marshmallow S'more, which is a lot of sugar. Oh gosh, it's disrespectfully a lot. Both of these are disrespect. All 3 of these are disrespectful things. Stay Puft Marshmallow Man, that thing gave me a serious sugar rush. I'm like, whew, I need to walk this off and get an insulin shot. And then that is a whole dollop of marshmallow that is on top. And this is the non-alcoholic drink. The alcoholic drinks, you're paying for that upgrade. And I'm not drinking $20. That's just me. So I think this was about 7. Just as good. You don't have to worry about getting dehydrated. So this was actually really, really good. I forget the name of it. I'll have to put it in the review. Says I ain't going there at night. Yes, I have. So what I showed you was what I'd actually purchased. So later on, this weekend I'll have a Halloween Horror Nights vlog video where I review some of the food items, not all of them, because Halloween Horror Nights, you're not really there for the food, and I'm quite particular. I don't really like going to the food stands unless it's something that sticks out that I gotta have. It reminds me, the barbecue cart's missing this year. I don't like that. Oh, I don't like that, but marshmallow looks great, but it'd be in the majority of my beard the rest of the night. Yeah, I was getting it stuck like on my nose and everything. It was pretty good. It was good. Yeah. So here we are in the Bloom house scare zone. So here you've got the slasher guy from Freaky. The other guy, I don't know what he's from. Vince Vaughn played that character in Freaky. He was hilarious. I don't know who this guy's from. You guys have to tell me. I don't know who he is. But you also have the other two characters from Freaky. You'll see the chicken red. So it's like when she's possessed by the slasher, she has on like this red jacket and stuff. But who she was normally, she's got her mascot head up there. See, there she is, like in red. If you've seen Freaky, let me go back here. If you've seen Freaky, you'll know exactly who she is. Blonde with the red jacket and all that stuff. Yeah, Northman JH, the real San Francisco is scarier than Blue House. It's probably why I walked through like, yeah, it's okay. It's okay. So that's her possessed character. And then you see the mascot head over there, and then that's her regularly. Let me see, that's over there for Freaky. They got one detail wrong, and I don't know if it's the actor or what. Yep, see, there's dude from Happy Death Day. Dude from the Purge is walking around too. Did I run into him? Oh, there he is. And then you have crazy ass Betsy Ross. Where'd she go? There she go, right there, right there. So they're walking around. This isn't a really active, when I say active scare zone, people don't really loiter in here because it's a thoroughfare. Universal Security tries to keep people moving. This seems to be the only one where they keep pushing people to move, to kind of get through. They do it in a very respectful way. Let me put it to you this way. Let's see, here's Megan, all right? No Megan horde, but lots of people want to get pictures and video and stuff with the Megan actress. Now, Megan is on one side, the grabber is on the other. So lots of people are stopping to try to take pictures, video, stuff like that, and they like to hang around. Universal Security is there, and they just kind of emphasize, folks, this is, we need to keep it moving through here. This is not a stopping zone, please, get your pictures and all of that, and, keep things moving. Very respectful, as opposed to at Disney with the ones like yelling at you to move. I missed the Megan horde. I thought we were going to get the Megan horde, but we just got one Megan, and she is extremely popular. Her and the grabber. This is where traffic slows up. So if you're going through San Francisco, headed over towards, New York or the other way around, this is where the majority of the people are. And I love this creepy lighting. She's really cool. I had to loiter around here a little bit myself to get video because she's so good. She has the mannerisms down and everything. We have to have a channel watch party for Megan. I saw the unrated cut, which had a little bit more blood. but I like that movie a lot more than I thought I would. And here's the grabber. If you remember the black phone, that's Ethan Hawke's character, and he played the heck out of that character as the grabber. Now he had a longer shirt on in the beginning of Halloween Horror Nights, but it was really too hot. So I'm glad they put him in a, in a short sleeve one instead, because we can't have dude passing out. We can't have him passing out. So yeah, then again, there's a grabber. And on the other side of him is the black phone. Did I go back? Let's see. No, I didn't go back. Okay, so the other side is the one for the black phone. That particular actor, I don't know, it seemed like he was scaring people, but he really shouldn't have been scaring people because that's not how that particular character was in the black phone. He was like always hanging around the black phone on the lookout for the grabber, you know. So this here, it's much wider space. This is my favorite scare zone. This is the torture fair. Last year, you guys remember, this was the vampire hippie festival. And in this particular scare zone, you get much more character interaction because there's so much space. They interact with you. There are more characters who actually talk. I think in the other scare zones, they don't really talk. They mostly just, hint, sign, pantomime, do stuff like that. Like in the Demon Queens portion, they just kind of had to pantomime and say, hey, you need to bow before the Demon Queens. I'm like, okay, I'll curtsy. How about we do that? But that's different. Here, you hear their voices. They interact with you, especially this dude who's got the torture gift shop here. And again, to reiterate, some of this blood is really realistic. So don't bring little kids to Halloween Horror Nights. I've seen this, unless your kids are weird like me. And the actors really, really get into it. They so get into it. They have a plague doctor too. He's very popular. We'll have to see if I see him. But yeah, he's got the plague doctor mask and everything. Again, this is like a Ren fair gone wrong. And at every Ren fair, you always seem to have the plague doctor with the mask and everything. And let's see, this is one of the queens, the icons of Halloween Horror Nights. This is Sinister. So Surreal is in purple, and they modulate her voice when she talks. This here is Sinister. So she is explaining her favorite torture device here, which flays you from the back. He's telling her, she's all proud of what she did. And literally she's touring her around this thing. Like, I'm so proud of it. Reminds me of an old school Disney villain. That's who she reminds me of. And I love it. Oh my gosh. I love this. This is great. Costuming and everything. So that was actually, this is probably the grossest one that I saw. It looked like real blood. And people couldn't help but go by and look at it. Here's one where dude moves around. Now, see, this year they added motion. We didn't have motion last year. This year we do. So there's this one, and also if you go in the zombie swamp, they have this dude who starts flopping around with the gator eating them. So that's like a nice additional thing that they've done this year. Hey, Jerry. It says, "Hey, Lorena in chat. Oh, hello, hello, hello. We're going through the torture fair, and I'm keeping the sound on because there's a part that's coming up that I love. Like I was saying, this particular scare zone, you have more character interaction. There's voice characters. They actually talk and interact with you. That's a torture wheel. And they have these ambient screams that are a little too good in a good way. Did you ever watch the Viking series? They have a very graphic blood eagle thing. Yes, I love the Vikings. After after um after Ragnar died, after Ragnar Lothbrok died for real, I lost interest in Vikings. I watched that instead of Game of Thrones. I was trying to watch it. Oh, here's the torture fair. There's the king and queen. And we've even got an Iron Maiden up here. So yes, they will open it up. And you will actually hear the mannequin screaming. I don't know if you guys can hear that, but someone in the audience basically said, "Yeah, kill him again." Very, very interesting, but it's so much fun, so much fun. Here, I'll do it again to see if you guys can hear it. So they have the executioner who's out. They do 2 executions. They have the Bloody Mary, and then they have the one where they waterboard somebody too. That's what it is. It's called Ye Old Torture Fair. I may have to make that one into a short. But over there, that's the tribute store. And instead of having a window, they just have that like projection of where it says tribute store in there. Let's see, Northman JH says the plague doctor is trying to make sure everyone is following guidelines. Yeah, he likes to hang out near the exits, near the exit cross bucks, and walks among the people. Would have been cool if he had like there's already smoke, but the plague doctors would always have like that sulfur incense, like spread smoke around because that's what they would do, because the smoke from the sulfur and all of that would like drive the rats out, because the rats were the ones that carried the plague. So yeah. Game of Thrones, LOL. Ivan the Broken is an animal. Bran the Broken is a boar. Yes. Oh my gosh, Ivan was gangster, wasn't he? Man. Ivan was so gangster. Let's see. I'm trying to think there's one more thing I need to show you guys. Oh yeah, I'll show you guys the demon queens. So this is at night. So this is to show you the difference. So demon queens at night, that whole part in Hollywood is not, usually it's not really lit that much at all, but now you can see how the costumes and everything react to the black light around. And all the queens get up on this, on this impromptu stage and everything. And they all look different. This is nothing like that nature cage stripper pole thing over at Epcot. This is like an elaborately designed set piece. All of the costumes look different. That's the Eye Lady. She's my favorite costume, actually. She's got, well, when she comes back into focus, I'll show you. It's like she's got like this beehive hairdo with like eyeballs in it. It reminds me of the Little Mermaid for some reason. I don't know why. Ah, very long, drawn out, terrifying execution. Oh, okay. All right. All right. Yeah, the torture fair is literally it's my favorite. My second favorite would be the zombies in the swamp. No over the top. Yeah. See, it's not over the top gore. See, it's look at all their the amount of imagination. So like at Disney World, they already have the canned costumes and everything like that. But over here at Halloween Horror Nights, it's like they have all of this makeup that they have to do, prosthetics that they have to do, costuming that they have to do. And you can see all of the time and effort they put into it to make this such a fun, scary, and immersive experience. Because no joke, when I walk through here, I get Hellraiser vibes too. This one dude really did scare me. I'm like, oh my God, I think it's a Cenobite. So this is awesome. Let me see. Did I go through the swamp too? I probably did. Probably went through the swamp too. I'll show you guys the swamp. But I have a multi-night pass. So I have a pass that I paid I think like $230 for, and I get access to 30 nights of Halloween Horror Nights. I think it's Monday through Thursday nights. I have the opening weekend, which is why I'm going. Why I'm going tonight. I actually have to leave in about 2 hours or so. I'm going down there tonight because I have access opening weekend. And then after opening weekend, I have access Monday through Thursday. So more than likely, I'm going to be doing Halloween Horror Night streams every other Thursday up to and including Halloween. So very easy to get your money's worth. $230 for 30 nights. Oh, that's Mel's dying. There's Mel's dying over there. $230 for 30 nights. And there are people who paid the extra, like, I think it's $500, $600. They paid for the express pass for that ticket. So think about that. You pay $800, and for like 30 nights, you get admission and express pass. That's why they sold out so fast. See, unlike with Disney, Universal severely limits how many express passes they sell to keep that value there. So it's like, I don't mind paying $200 if that means I'm only waiting 5 to maybe 15 minutes to get into a haunted house, as opposed to waiting an hour and a half to 2 hours, So that's the difference. So some people are like, well, Universal, they always had, express passes. It's like, yes, they always have, and it's always been limited, and it's been an open secret, out there. Disney's like, yeah, we'll take your money. You might be able to get in a little bit ahead of people. Cynthia Carter says, wow, quite the setup. Yeah, this is like one big, huge outdoor haunted house with haunted houses in it. And this is Mel's Drive-In, but during Halloween Horror Nights, it's Mel's Die-In. And if you have, I have to show you. So if you have an annual pass, you can get Mel's Die-In merchandise. Like this is a coaster. So I got this put here on my desk. So I got coffee rings on my desk. So I have this here coffee coaster. This is $12. There's also a glow in the dark t-shirt that I have that a lot of people who are pass holders bought. You can tell, really tell who the pass holders are. So they have this, they have like a apron pin that has blood stains on it, and they also have a metal sign as well for Mel's Die-In. I'm probably gonna have everything from Mel's Die-In. So whoever thought about that this year for annual pass holders is a freaking genius, because all of that, you see so many of the darn shirts that are out there that says Mel's Die-In. That's perfect. Hey, Alan Iron says, Lorena, hello and happy Saturday to you and everyone watching. Well, happy Saturday to you too as well. Glad you're here. And Avarice Carmageddon says, better than Disney's one day that's over the whole HHN Express Pass days. Yeah, it is. Was it during the pandemic? Not for Halloween Horror Night, excuse me, Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party, they actually did a pass. They only did it that one time. And I was like, dang it. How come I couldn't have moved down there by then? But yeah, it's a much better value. And this event every year, this is like a big deal why people want to go to Halloween Horror Nights, because the value that you get to get in, just all the houses, everything that's set up, the experience, the music they pipe in, the special effects that they pipe in. I know the fog machines, after a while, the exposure kind of like gets to me. So I have to bring a mask just in case. So I almost used it last night. But just to let you know, in case folks are sensitive to that. The Chinese barbecue soda and Club Cool tastes exactly like the fake human meat smell Horror Nights using the mazes. Ooh, yeah, that one tastes like a sweat sock. I know exactly which one you're talking about, going Shoki. Yeah. They even have sulfur smell that they pipe into. It is top notch. Top notch. They limit it to keep the value. Disney oversells it to make money. Yes. Express Pass, you like walk on in. You're like, where's the people? It's like, oh no, go ahead. Go ahead. And you just, it's one of the best freaking things ever. If you have the means, I highly suggest springing for the Express Pass. As a matter of fact, if you're going to Halloween Horror Nights, you need that Express Pass. It's the difference between you getting done all of the houses by like 9, 10 o'clock and not getting them done till 2 in the morning. Mm-hmm. Yes, there is an apron pin. Yeah, I got to take some more pictures. I think I took pictures of it, but there is a video that I put out where I went through the tribute store and looked at the merchandise. Maybe we'll go through the tribute store tonight. And yeah, there's a pin that says Mel's Die-In, and it's got like blood spatter on the apron. So this is the Bayou Zombie Swamp thing. Like I said, this is the scariest for me, and especially at night, because there's trees, there's underbrush. So much of the theming looks just like the bayou, and there's so many places for scare actors to jump out and scare you, walk right up to you. You can't see them until the fall passes, and they're right in your face. It's like The Walking Dead. I love it. I absolutely love it. This is my favorite non-speaking scare zone. Hey, Moonbeam. Yes, this is from last night. This is from last night. This footage that I'm showing you, that is from last night. So I'm going back tonight. Going back tonight. So I can show you. You can see people with these like lit cups. Those are the Halloween Horror Nights. Let me see. Go back. That is the refillable souvenir cup. So if you're buying alcohol, buy the souvenir cup because the refills are $2 cheaper than, you know, buying all over again. So definitely do that. Yeah, that was gross. That's an airboat accident. Not good. Not good. Let's see if we can get to where the. Let's see if it gets to where is the alligator with the. Did I miss the alligator? I think I did. Or is he down over here? Easier to see. Okay, see, it's gonna pop right out at me. I saw him because I always have my head on a darn swivel when I go through here, so I see where they're gonna try and jump out at you. Where is he? Because he did like jump out at me. I think it was like right after I passed by. Yeah, because this is where I get the biggest jump scares. Is going through here. Let me see. Did I? Oh, wait. Wait a minute. Ah, dang it. Well, I'm not going to be mad because, hey, it makes money. So this is where I went in a Diagon Alley before we wrapped up the stream, and there was an even bigger um, Death Eater experience here. You see the one Death Eater, they go out amongst everyone that's there. They go in the shops. There's the green that's lit up. So cool. Alan says, Lorena, my family and I have been doing Universal Express for over 25 years, and I'm telling you, it is always worth it 100%. Yeah. The only time that I didn't do Universal Express was right before I moved down here, and it was during the pandemic. So capacity was limited. But before that, yes, I had Express when I stayed at the Royal Pacific, and it was freaking awesome. It was absolutely awesome. Let's see. Let's go back over here. Lots of cameras, which means there must be a battle going on. So there they are over there. They're looking through. That Reina Creole membership. Thank you so very much. Yeah, see, some people were stopping me to ask me about my channel. Some folks who are viewers who I didn't know were coming up to say hi. See, we Slytherins. We're not fakes. No. Yeah. No. I had a Death Eater try to like play with my hair. She hot. Oh, no. Don't go in the disrespectful gift shop. Oh, dang it. One of the Death Eaters decided to go into Sugar Plums. That's the candy shop. So they picked one person out. Then they picked out another one. And I think they're going to have a duel. And this is so cool. I mean, imagine all of the thought that went into it. Oh, that was cool. Probably was. How cool of an effect. They made it look like, the guest was able to activate that. I mean, I know why, but I'm not going to tell y'all. I know how they do it, but I try to forget that I know how they do it because I love the illusion. I mean, listen to the music. They have, you're hearing that awesome John Williams score, and you get to battle with that in the background. Come on. And this is the kind of stuff that used to happen when they had the Jedi Academy over in Hollywood Studios in front of Star Tours. Like, they would be battling with Darth Vader, and you'd hear the John Williams score, you'd hear Duel of the Fates. It's so darn cool. It's Totalis. Join the Death Eaters for the outfits. They do have some cool ass outfits, and you can buy the Death Eater masks in Verge and Burks. For a long time, they were out of stock because people kept buying them. But now you can. You can buy Bellatrix's mask, and you can buy Lucius's mask. Look how cool it is. Watch out, because they might AK you. Yeah, Noble Collection has it too. Yeah. Look at this. We're gonna duel, y'all. We're gonna duel. Alan Iron says, Lorena, I love to learn how they do the effects, but I just so love the immersion that it never breaks the immersion. I love the effects. I love how they do it in the behind the scenes stuff. Yes. I know I'm in love with an effect where I know how they do it, but I try to forget that I know how they do it, because I love the illusion.
How cool was that, guys?
That was so cool. Death Eaters and Yu-Gi-Oh! Is how they do it.
You gotta love the Death Eaters.
That was such an awesome awesome part to end that particular stream on, just checking it out and seeing, just all the immersion and the effects that go on. And that's pretty much what Halloween Horror Nights is like. You just get immersed. There's so much fun and scaring your friends and eating weird stuff. And it's just a party, and it's a lot of fun. You definitely get a lot of value, even if you don't go into the haunted houses, which I don't do by myself. There's still so much going on with the scare zones and the food that they have. And then there's some of the other attractions that are open, like Escape from Gringotts is open. And I do believe that the Leaky Cauldron is open. I hope so, because I think that's where I'm going to crash before before Halloween Horror Nights starts proper. So there's all of this stuff that's going on, and admission starts at, I believe, $70. So yes, it's still a good value. If you don't think it's a good value, hey, people are paying all this money for the express passes, and they sell out, very, very quickly. Really great for the atmosphere. Again, not for little kids. I've seen people bring little kids. If they were weird like me and not scared of stuff like that, then okay, that'll work. But very easy to get your money's worth. There's also a freaky stage show called Nightmare Fuel. I think it's like 5 performances a night. So that's something else to check out. I saw it, but I'm watching the Nightmare Fuel show from the perspective of they're using fire, and there's some kind of flame retardant stuff that they put like on the performer's hair and stuff like that. So yeah, that's how I look at it. It's a little too metal for me, but the acrobats are pretty awesome. So that's an additional thing on top of that. Plus, you also have the tribute store. The tribute store is open all the time during the regular hours of the park, but also open during Halloween Horror Night. So yeah, it's never the same experience twice. because you've got the scare actors that walk around and do stuff and interact with you and stuff like that. So yeah, never the same. And if you're watching me on stream, they kind of like to stalk me. Like I'll go past them. Some of them will come in behind me. But I don't have the camera put on me, so they can't see it. But it's hilarious. I love how they ham it up for people taking pictures, taking video, um, all of that. It's just it's a great time, and I'm looking forward to checking out the behind the scenes tours of 6 of the haunted houses. And I'm definitely going to be seeing the one for Insidious, A Quiet Place, and Ghostbusters. I don't know what the other 3 are, but I know I'm definitely going to get to see the 3 IP houses, so I can tell you about those haunts. But I'm enjoying it. So many more nights. I'm going to be down there streaming for Halloween Horror Nights. So you definitely want to let me know all of your questions, and I can tell you about. But I will definitely say Halloween Horror Nights is something that Universal does so well, to the point where they're putting something in Vegas that's going to be like Halloween Horror Nights year round. People come from out of town to check this out. It is great. Still a value. The food, not so much. I mean, but people really aren't going for the food. I mean, there's some stuff that's there. People really aren't. They're just going there to drink and get scared for the most part. And buy merch. Dang, this is cool. I love the t-shirt. Which I have to wash because it was sweaty last night. So hot as it is. It is hot. Also, something else to note: if you're going to Halloween Horror Nights, you cannot bring water containers full of water or any kind of liquid into the park. They will basically say you can drink it right there, or they can pour it out, but you can't bring those in. So I always have to remember, when Halloween Horror Nights starts, I have to have empty bottles. You can get tap water for free. It's not a problem. You can go inside. That's what I do, because I'm not spending money if I don't have to. Parking is free after midnight. But either way, there's still Halloween Horror Nights elements that are in City Walk. So if you don't pay to go in for Halloween Horror Nights, there's all sorts of Halloween Horror Nights merchandise that's out there at City Walk. There's also the Dead Coconut Club. It used to be the Red Coconut Club, but it's a Dead Coconut Club for Halloween Horror Nights. And they also have a Bloomhouse theming. I haven't had a chance to check it out yet, but very cool that it is there. So with that said, I think we are going to wrap up. Thank you guys so much for being here. Always a great time talking theme parks with all of you and keeping all of you guys abreast of what's going on. I love this community that we're building up. So if you're watching this on a replay, drop comments in. Let us know how you like the show. So next week, we're definitely going to be talking Food and Wine Festival out at Epcot. I wonder if the portion sizes are still small. But either way, we're going to talk about that next week. You guys have an amazing, amazing rest of your day, afternoon, evening, wherever you are. I'll see you folks tonight in the fog at Halloween Horror Nights. Bye.